Now, I don't know if this is possible. I want all of them to have just, like you want to just inhabit all of them. You're compelled by their story. But God, I would love to read another story about Widowmaker. Like what happened to her? I want them all to be like that. I want them all to be, how would you say this? It sounds crude and it sounds businessy, but like each character should be able to be its own franchise. Does that make any damn sense? And I don't mean it from a business standpoint. I just mean like, yeah, I want to know more about that character, and that's how we're approaching every part of this. So I think the future is unlimited in its possibility. But as of today, we have our hands full with this sucker. So.
How much of this game is based off of what you were building with Titan before canceling it?
Well, Overwatch is its own game. So Overwatch has pretty much been made from the ground up. With all Blizzard games, we borrow from previous projects, whether they be release games or canceled projects. So, there was a game before World of Warcraft was out that the team was working on called Nomad. You guys may or may not have heard of that, and certain elements of that made its way into WoW. Certainly, there are some elements of Titan that we thought were cool and we're salvaging and have made their way into Overwatch, but there's also ideas from World of Warcraft that are in Overwatch. At its core, Overwatch is its own unique idea, and we're just really excited about the direction that it's going. How about in the back there?
This is a pretty big departure from Blizzard's kind of signature art style. How hard has that been for the artists, and how has it been good for the artists, and what sort of spurred that decision?
It has been, I think it's been awesome for the artists. Our lead concept artist is a brother named Arnold Sang, and he has a killer art style. And we kind of embraced Arn's art style very early. There's just something super mega about the way he draws characters, just hyper proportionate like Samwise would do, but kind of bigger than life, super dynamic. And we've just been in love with this style, and it seemed like the natural extension of this idea that we had been brewing. It looks pretty different from a Warcraft or even a Diablo, but we feel that it's very Blizzardy nonetheless. So it's been fun to see it evolve.
And you've got Arnold, who's our lead concept artist, Arnold Sang. And there's going to be a panel tomorrow at, I think, 11 or 11:30 a.m., where Arnold and Bill Petrus, who's the art director on the game, are both on that panel. And they're actually going to talk at length about what you're talking about. It's this awesome merging of Bill and Arnold, because Bill was the original art director on World of Warcraft. And then you have Chris, who, he's our creative visionary through all this stuff. And then you've got Arnold, sort of that new vision of what we're doing. So we do feel like it picked up a lot of the Blizzard, but it's an awesome marriage of it all.
It's fresh. It's a freshness that I think we've needed, and it's super fun to watch. And I love the way that Jeff put that. It's almost this multi-generational thing now, where you got crusty old, dinosaurs like me with, badass ninjas like Arn. And we're finding a new way to do it and a new way to find it. And while I think it provides a particularly distilled vision for Overwatch, it's killer for our culture. You can't stay the same. And I think we're finding, new highways and new ways to express the Blizzard ideal in very cool ways. I love it. Oh, sorry. No, so it'll come back.
It'll come back. I'll get it.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people don't play shooters because they feel that the aiming or the speed is too difficult. You're talking about accessibility, and I just want to ask you if you keep this in mind working in the future.
Absolutely. In fact, what you're talking about was of utmost concern and one of our core discussions when we started the whole project. And it's why we have so many classes that don't require you to have that, I call it Twitch skill, where you can just, at 100 meters, I can put the crosshairs on the target's head, and oh my God, I have, maybe I'm a little too old for that anymore. I'm not saying it's an age thing, it's just me. But we're going to have that stuff for the skilled hardcore players. There will be classes where they can show off that skill, but we have a lot of heroes that feature abilities that don't require that same level of skill. For example, we have Mercy, who's a healer. She follows people around. She attaches her healing beam. She can play sort of a different little mini game between should I be healing or should I be buffing. So you're watching your target's health and going, well, they're okay right now. Let's have them do more damage. We also have builder classes. Symmetra's a great example. She has these little turrets that she can stick on the floor or the wall or the ceiling. And she can have up to 6 of those out and create sort of like a nest and try to lure people into it. So there's a lot of other gameplay styles that don't require you to just be an awesome FPS player. Hey, you have your question.
I remember it now.
Okay.
So, is it luck or coincidence, or are all the developers going to the same pub after work? Because you've got Battlecry, you've got you guys, obviously TF2, but then you've got like the Gearbox guys. It just sort of seemed like this particular movement is now really getting on the map. Were you guys conscious of that movement at all, or was it just, again, like that one coincidence?
Well, I think it's really coincidence because we didn't know, with the exception of TF2, of course, we didn't know of those other projects. You have no idea what other people are working on. And I've seen a lot of, I follow all of the gaming press, I follow every announcement that's ever out there. And inevitably, some of the stuff will come out and they're like, oh, it's going to be just like that. But I think there are a lot of really big core differences between what's going on. But what's cool is everybody is feeling that it's time for some fresh ideas in the space. It's a genre we all love. We don't want the genre to go away. But it's kind of like when you watched, I thought it was a great moment when we watched Call of Duty advance the genre out of World War II. That was kind of like a moment for the genre. I think you're seeing another one of those movements happen where everybody's like, it's cool, we love this genre, we think it's really amazing, but can we push into new spaces where it hasn't gone before? And for us, it's also about, are there players who maybe want to try out this genre but have been turned off because they're not into modern military and they want to try something different? So I don't know if you want to contribute to that as well.
No, I think that's really good. And I also think, looking back over time, back when we started really getting into RTS, there were a lot of studios doing RTS back in the day. And we always looked at it in terms of it's good for the industry, right? You try your specific version of it, and then the guys down the street are doing their version of it, and it's kind of like iron sharpens iron. We all get a little cumulatively better as just the industry of developers. Oh God, these guys did that. It's so rad, right? And you kind of try different things out. I think it's really good as long as we're serving the community of gamers and the products are fun. It's all good. I think there's, I don't know. Well, the world used to be such that there was room for everybody, and I like thinking that is still true. There's a lot of different ways to kind of build this type of product. I don't know. I think there's room, but I think Jeff's right. I think it's coincidental. We don't know what the guys down the street are doing. Guys down the street, any other company. There's certainly no magical pub, although that would be fascinating. I'm sorry.
How do you guys think the development team handle
Well, God, you made me self-conscious about it now because I realize we don't worry about the risk very much at all. Really, I think it comes down to the leaders of Blizzard, Mike Morheim, Frank Pierce. These are the guys that founded Blizzard, are former developers, and they're the guys calling the shots for the company, and they've been so empowering to the development teams that we're not sitting around thinking about things like risks. These guys shoulder all of that burden, and they trust in their dev teams, and they send us off, and basically it's like, go make an awesome game. Show us something that the world wants to play, and we'll back you guys up.
The risk is when we invite like the guys on the StarCraft team to come and play, And then go like, this sucks. Damn, this sucks. Like that's the risk, right? It's like we're trying to, in a stupid way of looking at it, it's like we're trying to entertain each other. You know, we're all kind of the target market, long in the tooth or not. You know, we have a deep culture of game developers, and so we kind of know, right? Everybody's pretty honest with each other. You know, the Hearthstone guys come by, hey, you guys seen our latest thing? And we're constantly kind of playing each other's games and giving very direct feedback. And the risk is disappointing your friends down the hall. At first, keeps it very, very real, and we use that as our compass heading north. You know.
Okay, well, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. I know
Thanks,
a lot
guys.
of you traveled from far to be here, and it means a ton to us that
Thank
you're
you
here
for coming.
to share the story with us. Thanks, guys.
One thing, because you know, Heroes of the Storm. When can we see heroes from Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm? Because obviously they will appear.
That'd be the most awesome thing. Like right now, we just need to launch this game. And I feel like when we launch this game, we've earned the right to be in Heroes of the
Did
Storm.
you guys see? You know how we do like the artwork for BlizzCon? Did you guys see the updated artwork today?
It changed.
Yeah.
So stupidly exciting. Yeah, you got like Tracer and Reaper on that.
Oh.
Pandaria in there. That's like
All right, thanks.
All right,
guys.
thanks, guys.